The Fat Electrician reviews Iowa class battleship, the USS Wisconsin. I've been very much enjoying the battleship breakdowns from the Fat Electrician, and as somebody with a limited knowledge, if you will, on them, let's get into more of them. I'm learning a lot with these.
I am really excited about this one. Today we're talking about the 4 best battleships ever made. They are known as the Iowa-class battleships. The Iowa class is comprised of the USS Iowa, the USS New Jersey, the famously short-tempered USS Wisconsin, and the USS Missouri, also known as Mighty Mo, where the Japanese Empire surrendered to the United States of America, ending World War II. Weighing in at 45,000 tons with 212,000 horsepower. Yeah,
That's a lot of thickness, if you will. A lot of tonnage.
we're measuring in farm animals again. Yes, I know the metric system uses horsepower, but I'm okay with it. Because do you see the 3 big turrets on the battleship? Those
I was actually curious what those turrets were. In one of the prior videos, we ended up looking at the same exact image. These turrets look like they do a lot of damage.
are known as the Mark 7. Those 9 barrels have a maximum range of 24 miles. Not meters, not commie miles, fucking miles.
That's 5,280 feet. Right. Ooh, that's... They have a large range, don't they? Are these the ones that use HE rounds? These are, in fact, just America incarnate, aren't they?
And the best part, they shoot 16-inch shells. Those rounds are over 2,000 pounds apiece. Those are not
Yeesh.
Freedom Seeds. Those are fully mature red, white, and blue woods. I'm trying to tell you that when America starts lobbing the Freedom fraction-sized bullets at you, you're probably going to have a bad time.
Everyone's going to have a bad time. 16-inch shells, over 2,000 pounds apiece. That's a lot of ordnance. Especially because what was it in the prior video? We were talking about how while these might not necessarily be the biggest firearms, but biggest cannon, so to speak, right? They are. It's accuracy by volume of fire. You can fit more ammunition on said boat, on said ship. So that's gonna go places. You're just raining down a lot more fire. This is wild.
That's not even all of its firepower. It's also got 10 Mark 12s that shoot 5-inch shells. It's like a Freedom by the Foot extravaganza. And then it's got 140 anti-aircraft guns and 52 autocannons. It's also got the best radar system of any battleship ever, meaning it's more accurate with all that firepower.
Yeah.
So when you combine all that firepower with the accuracy and the fact that it's one of the fastest battleships ever made, capable of traveling 33 knots, which is almost 39 miles an hour if you don't.
That's wild. Like, you think about going, in a 40-mile-an-hour zone on land, right? Now imagine doing that as a boat. Boats are large. They don't necessarily move the fastest. That is quite brisk, I would argue, from my limited naval understanding.
Don't speak seaman. You have the best battleship ever. Cue the comment section.
Wow.
Actually, the Japanese Yamana had bigger guns and was way bigger. It was better. Yeah, it was bigger. It was also way slower, way less accurate. So if it was
Well, and that's the thing, even in SCA, right? If you can be the most up armored, I guess HEMA as well, technically this could extend to any ACL, any armored combat, thing, right? Sure, you could be the biggest, beefiest dude, have double door shield from Dark Souls on the field, right? Okay, what happens if they just come in behind you and SCA, that gets a little, technically you can't hit the back for safety reasons. But what happens if they just slip in behind you? I mean, or even Dark Souls, right? Dark Souls is a way better, simile here, right? You could have full Havel set on, you could have double doors, you could be playing the tankiest build in the game and have all the mitigations and all the defenses, right? It just takes one spicy dude wearing a little thrall hoodie with the Hornets ring, stabbing you with a dagger, just nuke like half your health bar, right? If they can outmaneuver you, your defense doesn't necessarily matter. Sure, it plays a part in it, right? But it's not all encompassing. So having a mix of mobility and defensive capability, I argue, is a sweet spot in there, is going to be what your meta is for anything, whether that be battleships, whether that be Dark Souls, whether that be ACL, HEMA, SCA heavy, right? Anything like that, right? Movement is always a thing that you have to consider, right?
daytime and the sea was calm, maybe it could take out an Iowa-class battleship. It's a good thing we have fucking 4 of them.
Yeah.
The Iowa-class battleships were so scary, the enemies intentionally avoided them. Meaning that they never really got to see a whole lot of action. I mean, the USS Wisconsin only got hit once, ever, and it was fucking pissed about it. During the Korean War, the USS Wisconsin and the USS Buck were going along the North Korean coastline. Their mission was to, quote, destroy railways, tracks, and surrounding mountains.
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 Just like Naruto Shippuden, Madara Uchiha goes full on perfect Susanoo, cleaves like 5 mountains, right? That we're talking just a different level of power. Kami no Chikaraka. For those that don't speak Japanese, that is a anime-ism that comes up a lot. Is this the power of a god?
While conducting that mission, a single North Korean artillery emplacement fired upon them, striking one time with a 152 millimeter round, creating a 30 by 20 inch hole in the wooden deck, causing almost no damage. At which point the USS Wisconsin turned all of its guns at the artillery emplacement.
I feel that there's a moment of calm, and then you just see all the cannons just shifting. I think that is the scary thought there, is, oh, sir, we've hit it. Oh, sir, we hit it. Oh, now it's angry. And you just, everything just starts shifting. I want every gun we have to fire on that man.
And fired a full broadside attack. That is so much force that it would push the 45,000 ton ship 4 feet directly sideways from the recoil.
That's
Not only
nutty.
did they die on that hill, the hill died too. When the smoke cleared, the USS Buck sent a single radio transmission to the USS Wisconsin that said, quote, "Temper, temper." Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed my content and maybe would like to buy me a beer about it, there's a link for that right here in my bio. If you're not watching this on TikTok, that link should be in the video description. That is also the link for all my shirts and stickers. Until next time, thank you for your service. Quack bang out.
No, that was amazing. And I love learning about military history. I might not have full understanding of military history in a lot of aspects, and might not have full understanding of the military even more so, especially the modern military. What I can say is I like learning about history, and it is a gap in my knowledge when it comes to the Navy, and when it comes to naval warfare, when it comes to Iowa class ships, when it comes to, the different classifications, everyone knows the Bismarck, right? But that was, as far as, wasn't that, once again, I'm having to consider, is this World War I or World War II? I'm pretty sure that was World War I, right? But you get what I'm saying with that, right? So when there's a gap in my understanding, right? Like, when we're talking about far Eastern European history, right? Or we're talking about Russian history, right? I mean, there's certain things like the Bolshevik Rebellion that, okay, yeah, pretty much everyone's heard. When we come down to like the Scorpo videos, and I have no idea who Tito is. I have no idea who this man was and why there's so many memes about Tito. When I find gaps in my logic, when I find gaps in, these things, I want to make sure that I'm shoring it up in some capacity, right? And it isn't necessarily that everyone's going to be a specialist. No, not necessarily. And I don't think that's necessarily fair to everybody. What I would argue is kind of being read on enough things, and even if you're not read on something, to make enough of a educated statement, and also having the understanding that you do have Google in your back pocket, right? If someone was like, well, Kip, what was the, no, they use this, right? They use this caliber on deck, right? And I'd Google it, and I'm like, okay, what are the specs on it, right? The fact that I, at my fingertips, at my beck and call, have the power of Google to look up, oh, okay, yeah, this was, these were, these were 5-inch cannons, right? Or, this was a 16-inch shell, right? These kind of things. I think a lot more people need to, and I think that's why I like Fat Electrician a lot, is that not only is he fun, is he personable, he does a lot of things, and his style has improved a lot. I'm sure some people have noticed some audio isms. That's going to be due to me boosting it with old Fat Electrician audio. That's why I've taken down a lot of my older reactions and replaced them with newer and improved versions of them, because no one should watch Old Kip. Old Kip was rough, is all I'm going to say. But, there's that ability to improve upon things, and, it should be normalized through creators like Fat Electrician that just look it up if you don't know, and be read enough. It should be okay. I was about to say sexy. Should be okay. Kind of that too, right? It's okay to be educated on something. It's okay to know things. It's okay. Should be smiled upon and incentivized to learn about all the things that you can. Yes, we do stop at a certain point where, if someone with a PhD says, Kip, this is this, right? Okay, look, you clearly have the degree and I don't. You have this degree, you are specialized in this. This is literally your thing. I get it. Or a tradesman saying, well, Kip, you don't want to wire that way because it's going to blow up in your face, right? Okay, this is literally your trade. Like, I'm going to respect this. Or, well, Kip, we can't improve our methods in this way because, in the work that I'm in, these are the things that you're going to run into. If you try this, feel free to try it. But these are the, things that you're going to run into for trucking. Oh, why don't you do this? Well, See, I work in trucking, this is why we don't do this. These are reasons that you have to consider. Okay, right? And obviously, if you're the specialist in something, you should definitely, listen to them. But normalize creators like this, normalize creators like the Fat Electrician, because they bring a lot of cool stuff to the table. And I think that that's something that's very special and why I continue to react to and push support for the Electrician, which, speaking of, if you haven't checked them out, go check out the Fat Electrician. Awesome individual. I love him. He puts a lot of great content, a lot of varied content too. You're not going to be wanting for variety, I'll assure you. And what are your thoughts down below? What are your favorite stories on the Iowa class battleships? Let me know in the comments section. I will see you all in the next